Hello everyone and thanks for watching this video. So the first part here that we are gonna cover in this lecture is the virtual environment. And we are going to work on three different conditions here. Based on your host operating system, we assume that you might have Linux operating system as your host operating system, or Windows or Mac OS. So the installation of VirtualBox, which is the technology that we use in this part of the course, the ethical hacking part, is VirtualBox. So there's VMware and other technologies, but because VirtualBox is free and the usage is relatively simple, we are going to use this software. So let's move forward to the installation on the Windows, because the macOS installation is as the same as the Windows installation. So before moving to the Windows, I have a page here, which is the download page of VirtualBox. You have to navigate to this address and go, based on your host operating system, go into one of these three parts here. If we assume that you have Windows OS on your host, you have to go and install this executable. And if you are on Mac OS, you have to get this DMG file, which both of them are just next install. But the Linux part has some difficulties and some tricks that you should follow before installing the main package, like installing the kernel headers, DKMS, which is dynamic kernel module support, and they are needed before the installation of VirtualBox. So let's move forward to our Windows box, and I have already downloaded the exe file. So let's go for the installation as quick as possible. So as I told you, next install is all we do in macOS and Windows. So it says network interfaces, we restarted, you might lost the connection. So no problem. So if you are right now on your Windows host, I'm sure a lot of you have this virtualization technology or some other apps, but if you don't, please go and download that Windows exe or exe file and follow the installation, because we are going to install Kali Linux as our main operating system through all the ethical hacking course. Ethical hacking part. So this wants to run the VirtualBox, but I want to wait. There's another package here. Let me just navigate back here. There's a package called VirtualBox Extension Pack, which makes support for USB 2 and 3, VirtualBox RDP, disk encryption, and some other graphical issues are handled by this package, extension pack. So as you see, you can download the vbox-ext pack. I have already downloaded the file. This is the file. So I go for the installation of this module. So as you see, it says, do you want to install it? Navigate to the bottom of this license agreement. So as you see, the extension pack was installed successfully. So this is the VirtualBox main interface or user graphical interface. We have some preferences, Virtual Media Manager, Host Network Manager. All these are explained in the Kali Linux installation part, because we have to just work and modify a lot of these features. So this is the installation of Windows. You can just follow the same on your Windows OS, and also on the Mac OS X or Mac OS. The installation is relatively simple, and you can just drag and drop the DMG file into your apps folder and do next install. So let me see. So this is the package for OS X. As you see at the bottom of the page, that DMG file, grab this file and install the corresponding package. But for those that have Linux as the host operating system, you have to get one of these packages as the default installation for VirtualBox 6.1.16, as you see for Linux. So CentOS, Red Hat, and Oracle get these packages on version 7, 6, and 8. The Ubuntu installations should get the corresponding package, the Debian, the OpenSUSE, and Fedora, and others. But I'm going to follow another method for the installation. As you see here, you can just install with the package manager. So on Red Hat, CentOS, and Oracle, you install VirtualBox and some other instructions here. But before doing this, I want to clarify a point. As I told you, you need some tricks in the Linux installation, and the tricks are about installing the kernel headers. So let's go sudo apt install linux -headers. As you see, we have a lot of headers. So we go for a bash scripting syntax here. You name -r, which brings back the currently used kernel here. So as you see, this command here will install the kernel headers corresponding to our currently installed kernel. And let me just install another package called dkms, which is Dynamic Kernel Module Support. And VirtualBox needs both of these packages in order to work and do the virtualization thing. So the password wants to get 12 megabytes of archives as this is going on. So on the Red Hat or CentOS, just search for example, CentOS kernel headers install, and momentarily we are going to have the package or the installation. So as you see, sudo yum install kernel devel, so the package is a little different, and again uname-r. So as you see, the syntax is also relatively simple here, but if you don't understand, we have another course on Linux command line and also productivity, so you can go and grab that course, follow the instructions, and you can pass that course before doing this course. But it's not mandatory, this is just a recommendation. So if you want to understand, I will explain everything, but if you want to have, more performance, you can do that. So sudo yum install kernel devel uname-r. This is on CentOS and Red Hat installations. So we wait for the packages to be installed on our operating system. As you see, we have a installation help here. So after doing that, you should do sudo apt update and upgrade, which I have done that. You can do this before doing the kernel headers. It's better to be at the latest version, but if you didn't, it's no problem. So just follow these 2 lines. And I have to wait for this installation. As you see, the dkms installation completed. So I've already updated and upgraded my packages, but you just follow these 2 commands on your systems. And if you are on, again, CentOS, you can go for yum update or yum upgrade. Do the reboot. If some kernel changes happen, you have to do the reboot to use the new kernel. And again, if you have any problems with Linux, you can follow us on the other course about Linux command line, and you're going to get a lot of info there, but we will explain as much as possible in this course. So let's go and add the installation packages into our repositories. So as I explained, you can follow the installation within these packages. So my current operating system is Kali Linux, as you see, etc. Or we can run hostname CTL. So run hostname CTL, and you're going to get, this is the hostname, and the operating system, as you see here, Kali Linux GNU Linux rolling. So I'm neither of these Linux distros, so I have to go for the installation with Package Manager. And installing with Package Manager has a benefit of staying organized, because the packages that you install with Package Manager are going to be upgraded whenever you run, for example, sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. So your packages are going to be updated and upgraded automatically. But if you install a package manually, you have to just look for new versions and all that stuff. So this is the difference. So where were we? Yeah, adding these VirtualBox repositories to our main repository. These are the keys. We are going to add the repositories itself. This is the command. You can add on, for example, Kali Linux. But if you have, for example, Linux Mint, you can add this version here. So every installation. So as you see, because I am Kali and it's not listed here, I have to go with the repository. But if you are Ubuntu, just download this package and run dpkg-i and the name of the package, for example, VirtualBox 6.1.deb, and do the installation. And for example, if you are on CentOS, you can get this RPM package and run RPM install and the name of the package .rpm. So you see, the installation is relatively simple. We have a problem here. We didn't get the both keys here. Yeah. One of the keys are retrieved, the other has not. Yeah, it is okay. So let's move forward to the next command here. We do this echo to add this package here to our repository, and we have to do sudo apt update to update our repository. So as you see, sudo apt update, upgrade, and do the reboot again. And this is the line that we did. So you have to install the kernel headers, dkms, and the next important part is sudo apt install virtualbox-dkms. So dkms will install the other possibly missing packages for you. So do the installation like this. So as you see, the installation is completed. The modules and kernel modules are compiled and loaded into the kernel dynamically. And we can go for the execution of VirtualBox package. So this is our VirtualBox, and we can continue the installation on the next lecture. Thanks everyone, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next lecture.